They say you can link any two actors to each other in 6 moves or less via their film credits. So today we're gonna go ahead and put that to the test. In the fewest moves possible, we're gonna connect Aquaman star Jason Momoa to some of the stars of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and show just how small a world Hollywood really is. Before we jump into this though, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That'll let you stay up to date with all our new stuff. So let's kick things off with Jason Momoa's most direct connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage is a super new addition to the MCU, but definitely an important one. He plays Eitri, the King of the Dwarves, aka the guy who made the Infinity Gauntlet and that awesome new Stormbreaker weapon. Well, Peter Dinklage has been acting for a long time, but what really shot him into superstardom is playing Tyrion Lannister on Game of Thrones. And that's our direct connection to Jason Momoa here, because the exact same thing can be said of him. His career really took off after playing Khal Drogo on that same show, although he definitely didn't last as long as Dinklage. Moving on to Momoa's connection to the guy that really kicked off the entire MCU, Robert Downey Jr. Just a couple of years before Robert Downey Jr. started playing the role of Tony Stark, his career was a whole mixed bag of different projects. One of the most interesting looking movies he did leading up to Iron Man was a movie called A Scanner Darkly in 2006, and one of the other stars of that film was Keanu Reeves, also known as the nicest guy on the face of the earth. Well, Reeves is our connection to Jason Momoa here, seeing as they both played in 2017's The Bad Batch, which you'd think would be about a batch of cookies that didn't turn out the way you'd hoped, but it's actually about cannibals in the desert and stuff. Next up, we have a triple connection to the MCU for Momoa. This one credit of his links him to Captain America himself, Chris Evans, Gamora herself, Zoe Saldana, and Heimdall himself, Idris Elba. See, back in 2010, before any of those wonderful people had joined the MCU, namely because the MCU hadn't actually really kicked off yet, they were all in a movie called The Losers. Doesn't sound as cool as the Avengers, but it was a pretty fun time actually. And also in that movie is our connection to Jason Momoa. One of the other stars of that film was Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played a dude named Clay. And as Batman's doomed father Thomas Wayne in the DCEU, Jeffrey Dean Morgan had a tiny little role in Batman v Superman. That links him to Jason Momoa, who also had a tiny role in that movie. So although one of them played a flashback and the other played an email attachment, there's still a shared connection there. So, we've got connections to Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. Now let's check out Momoa's connection to another MCU OG, Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor Odinson. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth was in the Thor movies, seeing as he plays Thor. And also in Thor the Dark World was Adewale Akinwumi Agbaje, who played Curse in that movie. Now Adewale is also in the DCEU as Killer Croc in Suicide Squad. So although Aquaman doesn't appear in that movie, there's still a connection to him via Ben Affleck and Ezra Miller, who both have cameos. But there are some other credits that link Chris Hemsworth and Jason Momoa by way of Adewale Akinwumi Agbaje. First off, Adewale was in 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, so there's a connection right there. Also, both actors played in the 2012 movie Bullet to the Head. A lot of connections going on there. And actually, speaking of Bullet to the Head, that movie can actually link us to another massive MCU star. See, Sylvester Stallone was the lead actor in Bullet to the Head, which honestly is probably the most violent sounding movie title out there. And you might remember that Sylvester Stallone was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, albeit very briefly. Still, that little role in Guardians connects Jason Momoa to Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord, and also to all the other Guardians of the Galaxy, really. Next up, let's see how the King of the Seven Seas connects to the King of Wakanda. Chadwick Boseman, who somehow is 41 years old, had a really good couple of years leading up to stepping into the role of T'Challa. He played Jackie Robinson, he played James Brown, he also played Thoth in Gods of Egypt, but we don't like to talk about that one. But Jackie Robinson isn't the only professional athlete that Chadwick Boseman has played. He played a professional football player in the 2013 movie Draft Day. And that's his connection to Jason Momoa right there, seeing as that movie starred Kevin Costner. And Kevin Costner plays Pa Kent in the DCEU, meaning that they both had little roles in Batman v Superman in 2016. Now let's look into Jason Momoa's connection to the big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Thanos, played by Josh Brolin. If you take a look at Josh Brolin's IMDb page, you'll quickly realize that the guy has a thing for sequels. Sicario 2, Deadpool 2, Wall Street 2, Men in Black 3, and so it's only appropriate that another sequel is what connects him to Jason Momoa. In 2014, Josh Brolin appeared in the movie Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, which was a sequel to 2005's Sin City. Also in Sin City: A dame to kill for was Bruce Willis, who in 2017 did a comedy action type movie called Once Upon a Time in Venice. Also in that movie in the role of Spider was Jason Momoa. And finally, let's take a look at how Gal Gadot's film credits provide some straightforward connections that link Jason Momoa to Vin Diesel and Mark Ruffalo. Obviously, Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa both starred in the Justice League film in 2017. Well, Gal Gadot also starred in several of the Fast and Furious films, which links Jason Momoa to the voice of Groot, Vin Diesel. And she also appeared in the 2010 comedy Date Night, which also featured Mark Ruffalo. So there you have it. There are definitely some interesting links going on that connect Jason Momoa to the stars of the MCU. If you can think of any other interesting connections he has to Marvel stars, let us know in the comment section below. And as a special little challenge for the comments section, can you connect Hugh Jackman to Chris Evans in 6 moves or less? Let us know how you did it. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check back soon for a new video.